please like my channel.
And subscribe.
And hit that subscribe button and hit that bell.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is Phoenix 198720 here to bring you my latest episode of my Let's Talk About series. Today, we're going to talk about game developers who have released games and the game has not been completed. Where there is so many bugs in the game, it's not funny. And I don't understand why developers do that. I understand you want to keep riding that wave of success that you have there placed in front of you. But releasing a broken game, a game full of freaking bugs, a game that's unplayable because you wanted to make sales, somebody at the developers got to get slapped. Some of the head guys. So who cares if you make 12 games a year? Maybe cut it down to 8 games a year so the game is finished. That there's no breaking bugs in that game or none of that crap. Look at Cyberpunk 2077. 13 years in the making, or 13, they announced in 2013. And when it finally come out, the game came out broken. I've never played it. I own it. I do own it. I haven't played it yet. But apparently there was so many bugs in that game. It was unplayable. Unplayable. And that sucked. Or Nintendo Switch Sports, which they even said the game is not finished. These are the games that you get inside this game, but there is more to come. That just shows me that the game is not finished. Or how about Lego's Star Wars Saga that just came out? You got so far and then you ran into a massive bug that stopped you until you had a clear path. It means that they're rushing games to get games out there for the sale because they're riding that wave. Now, I do understand DLC. I don't understand DLC that comes out on the first day of the game release because that part of the DLC was not finished. So they said, you know what? We're going to stop it here. We're going to end it here. We're going to pump out the game, but we're hoping to get the DLC out there for free. So it goes past that point. So if you don't have internet, well, you get to part there in the game and it just ends and you're like, WTF, this is the weekend. Then you go online and say, oh, there was a day one patch, which passed in the rest of the game. You're like, WTF, I have data on my phone. I don't have internet at home. But that's what you got to do. Now, I understand that some DLC that's come out is sometimes an afterthought of they had this idea, but it didn't work with the game, but it works as a separate part, an add-on to the game that doesn't affect the main storyline. Or if they have DLC for characters being brought in, or stuff like that. That makes sense. It's just characters being worked in because they thought, you know what, we should add 20 more characters so it gives players X amount more characters to play with. That makes sense. Or you have a car game, racing game, but we're gonna put out a DLC there to get different characters that we never thought that we should put in that game. That makes sense. Buying a game that's broken, full of bugs, and you need a big day one patch for the game, that doesn't make sense. The game should be able to get it, you put it in your system. If you have a PS5 or Xbox that has this, I understand the download, and that's the only thing that should download and install. That should only be the thing that slows you down. Not when you get into the game, and then you gotta wait for a 30-minute patch to come through because, that patch is stabilizing the game, debunking bugs in the game, and all that crap, so the game doesn't break on you. Developers gotta slow down. You guys have bigger budgets than most blockbuster movies. Slow down on you. Don't rush it. The game at all. Make sure the game is working beautiful. Because you put out a shit game, people are not gonna buy your product because they're seeing that developer does half-ass work. Why would you want to see that stuff as a half-assed work? You don't. You want to play the full game. Like I said, some DLCs make sense, some don't. And having big patches to the game because you as a developer fucked up because you're rushing, that's not okay. That makes your fan base shrink by thirds. And you really, really want to try to do better. So take your time building the game. Make sure the game's 100% complete before you release it. And let your fans have fun. Stop making broken games. And I would like to see what your guys' thoughts on it. Because there's probably a lot more broken games out there than I even thought of. So, do me a favor, when you drop in a comment, hit that subscribe button followed by the notification bell and give me a thumbs up. Until later, this is Phoenix 198720 saying I hope you have a good morning, a good evening, a good afternoon. Peace.